Hi, I'm Bran, and I love Hallmark Christmas movies.
I'm Brian. Hallmark Christmas movies.
I'm Dan, and I despise Hallmark Christmas movies.
Hi, I'm John, and I've seen one Hallmark Christmas movie, and I liked it.
Spoiler alert.
Hi, I'm Dave, and I'm new to Hallmark movies, enthused, confused, but excited.
And this is the Deck the Hallmark podcast, Dadville crossover.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast.
Brandon and friends host this podcast.
We hope you like this jolly podcast.
I gotta be honest, I've never been more embarrassed by our theme song than playing it for professional musicians.
Oh yeah, that's
Don't
what
do
they
that.
are. That's
That
right.
was-
What's
Don't do
great
that.
is
It's
John
great.
was like, I got the 4 segments. I know what we're doing, the whole thing, and then he in his intro gives his hot take.
Yeah.
Which is impressive.
It's good. You gotta get it right out of the way.
impressive.
But we
Just-
also kind of do that. so-
We're just used to we work in a job where people lose interest quickly, and so we have to move
We
at lightning
front,
speed.
We front load every episode.
That's right. Yeah. The back 40's got nothing. But
we
it's
don't
like
even
Net-
play the back
you know,
nine.
it's
We
like
literally don't play
Netflix.
the black nine.
Like that
That's
first episode of any Netflix show is like a great movie, and then episode 4 is just like indie filler, like it's bad. So
Yes.
that's what we did there. I like it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
I
exactly
just
right.
want to say to Dave really quick, it's nice to meet you. I hate you, and here's
Okay.
why I hate you really quickly. When I first started dating my wife, she said, I want to play you some music that I really like, and one of the first songs she played was by you, and I immediately realized that you are a much better musician than I'll ever be, and I immediately hated you. I said, there's nothing I could do. Like literally when I met her, I was on stage singing. And then she says, let me play you a real musician. This is how it happened in my mind. She's like, let me play you music that I actually like.
That's right.
I think we'll be able to get over that hump, but I just wanted to tell you right now, I'm going into this with some bias, and I apologize.
Yeah.
More than fair.
Mm.
More than fair.
No, that's fair. Well, know that my envy for your facial hair may be what keeps us, even.
Mhm.
Because at best I look like it always looks like I just started, but I'm 3 weeks in. Everybody's like, oh, you're trying to beard. I'm like, this is supposed to be a finished beard.
So it looks like
sort of-
me.
Yeah, it looks like Brian.
So,
like
Yes,
Brian. That's
I'm
what I like.
facially,
Brian got nothing.
follically challenged.
Yeah.
Facially. That's a
Facially.
good one.
I love
That's
that.
sort of the Greek. Is that?
Yeah,
when I
that's,
say
yeah.
that.
It's a
Yeah,
full
yeah.
translation.
If you go back, this is an exciting episode of Deck the Hallmark / Dadville because it's dropping on both feeds. And typically we would ask you guys something about you. And then if we were on your show, you would probably be interviewing us. So instead of doing a whole thing, just tell our listeners about Dadville and why they should listen to it, because it's fantastic. It's hilarious. As fathers, I think it's fantastic to listen to you guys talk to different people about parenting. And also, you guys are very funny. So tell people about the show.
That's very kind. Dave,
Give
go
it to
ahead.
him.
Take it away.
I love that we both caveated.
Dadville is funny thoughts.
Deep talks.
There we go.
Yeah. It's
And we rehearsed that.
we nailed it. John told me to pause for drama, and we do. It's sort of a little bit of subterfuge because people see Dadville and they think like, oh, it's like dads talking about being dads, which is true, but it's most of the episode is really just chatting with people that we know and or find interesting, or on good days both. And then, at some point we talk about being dads, but it's really more just kind of chatting about it. I think the thing that we both do feel really strongly about is we want it to be the best podcast ever. No, it's that we want, at least with white guys.
Well, yeah, that's a pool of everyone, which is impressive.
My favorite tweet maybe of all time is somebody tweeted, what do you call a group of 3 or 4 white men? And it's a podcast.
That's
which
right.
is still
Or in
maybe my
today's case, 5. We're really,
that's right.
we're pushing the boundaries of what's possible in podcasts.
When 3 or more gather.
I'll say this in conclusion. I think we both are really passionate about seeing dads, be celebrated, which sounds, again, just so like,
terrible.
Why would you say that? But if you watch I just feel like any media these days, it's the Brian Regan joke of the commercial where the dad's like caught in the window, then he can't get out, and the mom's like rolling her eyes, and she's vacuuming like, do you have a dumb husband like me? Well, this, and all that's, some of that's well founded, but I think it's been really fun to be able to have dads talk about why they love being dads. It's just really powerful. And so I think we really enjoy giving a forum to that and let it be something that's really celebrated in a time where, dads can drop the ball and it's fun to have a place where we actually celebrate it and really can talk about it.
And every now and then we have like an expert on and come in and sort of like mop up the mess of everything that we have said over the last 5 episodes.
Clean up.
Yeah. It's funny, Dave, you mentioned you guys in your podcast, and like my wife knew I podcasted, and she was like, let me play you a podcast that I really like. And it was you. And so I also hate you.
Yeah.
We're 2 for 3. All we got to get is
I'm fine with you guys so
that
far.
for the cycle. Good.
So-
Okay, good. Yeah.
Which
Well, then
is
we know what our
of
mission
course.
is.
That's
Yeah.
your role. You're the guy
Break it
that's
down.
in the middle.
That's right.
You like everything.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Well,
You
thank you
couldn't
guys
take
for sharing that.
Yeah.
Do you want to ask us anything about us? Like,
Well, I was going to
No.
listen for the Dadville
No, that's
listeners.
okay.
I do think it's important. John didn't. He actually expressly said, "Can we please not ask them
That's fair.
questions?"
That's fair. More than
And
fair.
that's a little. That's
I got a
frustrating.
tight 15.
Yeah. And rear because you've been running. So
Thank you.
no, I think I think our listeners would you just tell them about the show? Like, what is it you guys are doing, and what's the what's the spiel? What's the elevator pitch?
Well, we it all started 5 holiday seasons ago.
That's right.
I love Hallmark Christmas movies. I love everything Christmas, and I knew that my friend Dan would hate everything about them.
Accurate.
And I thought it would be a lot of fun to just make his life miserable as possible. We also, at the time, to bring in parenting, we had young kids. I had when we started.
Yeah, yours was real little.
like half a year old.
And I had
Oh, wow.
twin 2-year-old
Yeah.
boys.
Oh,
And
wow.
so
Yeah.
we were good friends. We taught together out of school, and then
Yeah.
we went our separate ways.
That sounds like we broke up,
I know,
which is weird.
I
You just
know.
left the school is all that
I just left-
happened there.
I realized I can't teach and shouldn't be allowed to teach, and so I left. And so it was a reason for us to really just hang out and be friends again and talk about being parents, not being parenting. Being parents, and then also talk about these movies that I adored and I knew Dan would hate. And so it was really an excuse for us to hang out. And then
It's
5 holiday
exactly what it
seasons
was.
later, we're still doing it, and we're hanging out more than ever, and we still love each other.
We do.
And
Go
you
ahead.
were listening to, or you were watching Hallmark movies like your whole life?
It had been a few years, so I think I discovered them in like 2014 or 2015.
Okay.
I
And is
found
this
out there was
is this pre your wife or post your wife?
This is
Right around the same
This is
time.
post my wife. Yeah, I
PW.
got married in 2013.
I'm
But
just wondering
here's-
if this is something you had to eventually one day have the talk with your wife and tell her about your addiction.
Well,
She doesn't like them.
she doesn't like them.
Oh, it gets
So-
more interesting.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I was the guy. I was like, hey, because I'm not gonna pay for cable. I'd like get free trials around the holiday season for different streaming services. Shout out to Philo, and I would watch it on there, and she'd be like, "Oh, we got to do this thing again." And so the podcast was hanging out, making Dan miserable, and also like. Since I had to have an outlet because my wife wouldn't want to listen to me talk about
Full
it.
disclosure, guys, like in their wedding vows they exchanged, in real life, they talked about Christmas. Like one of their vows was like, one of his vows was like, I promise to always like enjoy Christmas and this holiday spirit with you. Like that was in their actual wedding. So
Wow.
he crazy. Like he's
in my
not-
defense, my
know.
well, yeah. My anniversary's in like 2 days.
That's
So
right, it's
it was
December.
close to Christmas.
Oh,
It wasn't
gotcha.
like it was May and I'm bringing up Christmas for kicks and giggles.
Gotcha.
So tis the season it was.
Not that that
Yeah.
would stop you, though.
No,
it
it
wouldn't
wouldn't
stop
have
me.
in May.
I would
Yeah.
have done that.
That's right.
But that's the podcast. And we talk about the movies, we break them down. We like Hallmark. We're very formulaic. We do the 4 same segments every single episode. But
Oh
we
my
think
gosh.
that's to our advantage. We know exactly what we're going to do. And we have a lot of fun doing it. I think I'm still having fun.
We have a lot of fun here at Deck
We
the
do have
Hallmark.
a
I
lot of
say it
fun.
all the time.
Yeah, we do.
It's great.
That
Love it.
also sounds like someone who's being held hostage. That
It does.
sound
It
like
does.
they're not.
It always sounds like, at like the end of a very special episode of Saved by the Bell, where there was like drunk driving or like weed. It was like, hi, We have a lot of fun here at Saved by the Bell, but one thing we never joke about.
One thing we
is
never
joke.
joke about. Oh yeah,
That's right. That's what it is. That's what we
as
do.
they had like a little powder on their nose.
That's right, a little bit. Yeah. Richard Belding is like wiping his nose.
One thing we
fun.
have a lot of. We love this place, man. This place is great. I've never.
Don't you dare accuse Richard
Besmirch
Belding.
the name of Dennis Haskins.
Don't you
Not
dare.
here, not now.
Which he had to have started one of these at one point, right?
Oh, come on.
Oh.
Dennis Haskins?
He's
maybe.
been in a Hallmark movie, right?
You would
He
think.
hasn't. He hasn't.
Oh,
That I
wow.
know of.
Okay.
I've seen Richard Karn in a lot of them.
Yeah, Al Borland
Yeah.
from
Al
Home
Borland's been
Improvement.
in a lot of
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it like? Do y'all have the? Do y'all have like the stats on who's the most Hallmarked actor?
Yeah, well, Andrew Walker's been in more Hallmark movies than any other leading male, and he's a dear friend of the show. In fact, came to Greenville for a weekend and hung out with us. We do a little festival here in town, and
oh my gosh!
and
that's
so
amazing.
yeah, he's like a dear friend of the show. And then Lacey Chabert's the female that's been in the most of them.
Okay.
And she's
okay.
a big deal. Like she's
Okay.
she's
Yeah.
next level.
Hot shot
So-
deal make.
Yeah.
Quick shout out, Paul Steele, who's a friend and manager of mine. He and his wife. I just thought about this today. Y'all should have him on. They have a Excel spreadsheet of all of the Hallmark and related movies they've ever watched
Wow.
with rankings.
Good
And during
gracious.
this, every night, I think I'm getting this right. Paul will let me know if I'm not. Every night of December, they watch one of these. Every night. And it's just, that's what they do. And I was like, what is this? He's like, well, we enjoy them, but we also don't enjoy them, but now it's just too late. It's like it's happening.
Yeah,
And so this
gone
is
too
what we
far.
do. Yeah, it's gone too far.
We can't stop now.
That's right.
Can't stop now.
Yeah.
Really quick, John, you said this was your first one you ever watched. Dave, have you watched a Hallmark Christmas movie before?
I feel like I've watched at least bits and pieces, because I'm sure, like John, like I've had a few songs in them, and so there's always that like, oh, we should check it out, and then maybe we don't stick around quite as long.
Yeah,
as
that's
we
so
thought we
cool,
would.
Dave. That's awesome that you had
This is not helping.
more success with music. That's awesome.
That's great. Cool.
No, that's awesome.
Cool
I would
for
love
you,
that.
Dave.
Hey,
That's
true. I will say this true story. This is a true hand on the Bible, true story. We were watching one last year, and my song came on, and I didn't know that it was in the movie. And like my wife was like, "Settle down." I was acting like it was like, I literally was like, "Oh my God!" She's like, "What?" I was like, "Oh my, babe, that's my song." She's like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Oh my God, that's my song in the movie." She's like, "Dave, like it's okay." I was like, "Holy cow!" And it was the Mark Paul Gosselaar one. I don't know what that one was called, but it felt even cooler because shout out to Saved by the Bell. That's what
Yeah,
it
I
was.
mean,
Shout
come
out.
on.
Coming
Yeah.
back
Come on,
around.
get in there, get in
It
there.
all comes back
And I
around.
got paid $73, which was
Wow. That's big time,
That
man.
is.
Yeah.
Still waiting for that
retire.
check, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Don't tell Belding that.
Today we're talking about a movie called The Most Colorful Time of
most.
the Year.
Colorful time of the year.
I'm going to do a synopsis for us, and then we're going to break this movie down with 4 segments. The Most Colorful Time of the Year originally aired on December 9th, 2022, and it went a little something like this. Michelle is an Dude,
No,
I knew this was
this
gonna.
is-
This is right
This is the
right
yes.
out of the
It's
gate.
not Transformers,
This is the
Brand.
yes.
It's just like optometrist or optician. Like you
Well, I
just
just
pick
said-
one.
Michelle likes eyes for a living. She's the type of eye doctor that remembers literally everyone's prescription without any information. Ryan is a science teacher who clearly hates Christmas, but makes science fun. He takes his class down to the gym to get their eyes checked by Michelle, the eye doctor. Michelle really wants him to get his eyes checked. He says no. And then she reminds us that healthcare in America is awful. So he's like, okay, great, I'll be there. And so doing the whole thing. And she's like, okay, your eyes are looking pretty good. Read the line above the red line. And he's like, okay. Guesses. Does the green line underneath it? He seems stumped, but he crushes it. Everything's going really well. And then she's like, if your eyesight, I think it's pretty perfect, but what color is my shirt? And he is like, blue? And she's like, there's nothing I can do with that. You did crush it.
airtight.
You got
It's
it right.
airtight, man.
You got it right. Later, Michelle is talking to her BFF, and she's like, you gotta start dating again. And she's like, okay, I guess I got to start dating again. The next day, Michelle's daughter, Bailey, does a class project, and Michelle shows up to watch, as parents do on a day-to-day basis. The project is on why we see colors, and she thinks colors are what make life so beautiful. She proves it by plugging in a Christmas tree. She asks if they can keep it up. He says, no. And then Michelle from the back says, WTF not? And so he just caves. He's like, all right, fine. I guess since the mom in the room is upset about it, we will keep the tree up. He sees her later building a gingerbread house in the school gym with Bailey. And she asks them to hand the yellow and blue like candy things over. He blows the assignment hard. The ruse is up.
Oh, no.
He walks out embarrassed.
His scourge of colorblindness is out in the public.
He goes on a blind date, a colorblind date maybe, and she basically says how much she hates elementary school teachers, which is unfortunate for him. Michelle goes to tell Ryan about this new colorblind clinical trial for special glasses. He wants no part of this. I've tried everything. I'm sick of disappointment. But the time to apply is running out. She calls to see if she can just apply for him. He doesn't answer the phone, so she just applies anyways, as all good doctors do. There's an ex-boyfriend named Mark who is really driving her nuts, showing up randomly. We don't like Mark. She finds out that he got accepted into the program. Ryan got accepted into the colorblind program thing. And so she calls him, and he's annoyed at first. But when he looks at a picture in black and white, he realizes he needs some help. So he's like, what the heck? Let's just give it a shot. So he goes to her office for testing before getting the new glasses, and he just gets frustrated, and so he leaves. But Bailey brings him the glasses the next day. He walks into the school hallway surrounded by 10 Christmas trees, puts on the glasses, and boom, color. Luckily, Michelle is creeping around a corner, sees it all happen, and so she's like, I gotta show you everything, which includes more Christmas trees, a sunset, more Christmas trees. And he's like, so this is Christmas. And she's like, the most colorful time of the year. That's
the name of the movie.
That's good. And so they hang out a little bit more, and he leaves a hot chocolate date to go help with the basketball team, coached by someone who is very clearly into him. And then her ex-boyfriend Mark shows up uninvited to the house. She's not happy about that. To make him go away, she says, okay, you can come to Bailey's school Christmas show thing. Ryan decorated his room like crazy for Christmas. He's never been happier. It's time for the school show. Michelle sees Ryan backstage getting a kiss on the cheek from the basketball coach, so she's very upset. Then Ryan sees Michelle sitting next to her ex-boyfriend, so he's all sad. Everyone's jealous. Somehow, also Mark is now jealous because Mark is like, hey, Ryan, how much money you make, buddy? And no one's happy about that. Ryan gives an impassioned speech about teaching and how they don't do it for the money. She promptly tells Mark to go kick rocks. Ryan decides to shoot his shot one last time, bring her some flowers, takes her to his place to decorate the tree and kiss under the mistletoe. She invites him over to her house for Christmas morning. He comes over. They all have fun. They drink hot chocolate. And that, my friends, was the most colorful time of the year.
We did it.
We did do it, everybody. We're going to take a quick
Thanks for
break.
having us on, guys.
You got it. You got it.
Hey, guys. Merry Christmas.
Hey, it's coming. It's coming, fellas. You're not even going to know what to hit you. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to break this movie down with our 4 segments on Deck the Hallmark.
Deck the Hallmark.
Deck the Hallmark. Dadville. Dadville. Welcome back, everybody. We're talking about the most colorful time of the year. We have 4 segments to break this movie down. We're going to start with a hot take where we share exactly how we felt about this movie. I'll start with you, Brian. Brian?
Yeah.
Most colorful time of the year. What'd you think?
Hit me.
I have a theory on how this happened.
Oh.
This is unusual, this story. A little bit.
A little bit.
Let me take you back to an executive level meeting at Hallmark where someone said, in 2022, we're going to tell stories in ways that have never been done on our channel before. New types of stories. And everyone nodded in approval except one person. You know the type. the
Yeah.
naysayer,
Yeah.
The
overly
dance.
critical.
Crossed. Yeah. Yeah.
They say, we have a reputation. to
How old
uphold."
is he? Just real quick.
Yeah,
How
how
old
old-
was he?
This
So
is
nobody
dying?
knows how old he is.
Yeah. He's
Nobody
got a
knows.
cane and a bolo tie.
He
There's
doesn't
no
use a
way around it.
computer.
Yeah.
Nobody knows how old he is.
Yeah.
He's a millionaire and nobody knows why.
Exactly.
Yeah,
They don't know if he might.
We have a
own-
reputation to uphold. I like it. That's good.
Yeah, we have a reputation. We have people have expectations. We have to meet them. News stories don't sound like a good idea. And the person says, I said news stories, nothing is off the table. And he says, nothing? And they say, nothing. And he says, so a soldier is presumed dead and comes back at the end for a dance. And she says, or he says, yes. And he says, 3 Hallmark hunks together in one movie. And they say, love it.
Wow.
And Grumpy Gus says, a lady blackmailing her boss to trick her daughter. And the executive says, absolutely. And he says, a colorblind teacher falls in love with his optometrist. And they say, green light it.
Green light it right
Go.
away. Go hard.
Through gritted teeth.
Oh my
Because there's
gosh.
so much pride. They say, we're doing it.
Yeah.
And then they realize what they've done. They've greenlit a project they should not have greenlit. But they have a plan. They say, what we'll do. They decide they're going to sprinkle in glasses in all these movies leading up
Okay.
to the
Oh
colorblind.
yeah. All the leading dudes this year have been wearing glasses all
Oh,
year.
Oh,
the
look at
glasses.
this.
Viewers are loving
And
the
it all
glasses.
builds up to this one
Mhm.
ludicrous moment.
There's like a back of the mind trick. People are more empathetic now.
I saw Back of the
people-
Mind Trick live.
You
they
did.
were
Phenomenal.
Oh my
God.
gosh.
Before
they were
Ronnie
so
died?
good. Before Ronnie died. Yeah. Rest
So
in
good.
peace.
R.I.P. And so they
So many
built up the
keytars.
Yeah, so many keytars, including Ronnie Cates of Petra. That's exactly right. Yeah,
Yes.
nicely done.
So they've built up all this empathy among the viewers for people wearing glasses. And so when he finally puts on the glasses, nobody is thinking about, am I watching a colorblind person see color for the first time on TV right now? They're thinking, yes, put on those glasses. Everyone's doing glasses. And that is how I can imagine this movie was made.
So did you like it?
I don't know.
All right.
Okay.
Great.
It was a bridge to nowhere, but I'm here for it.
I don't know.
John, what'd you think of the movie? Your first Hallmark Christmas movie. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was as I told you guys beforehand, before we started recording, it went the way I kind of expected that it would go. And look, here's what I would say to people who are getting ready to watch this movie, or perhaps like me, their first Hallmark Christmas movie. I would say, look, if you're gonna go into this all skeptical and like a Grinch, then just don't even press play, right?
Yeah.
And I would say, look, if you have to go into this with the same mindset that you go into all Christmas albums, right?
Or a
say
doctor's appointment. Go ahead.
or just open-minded and willing to kind of go
It's
off
probably
script.
going to be bad, but what if it's good?
What if it's awesome?
Good.
No, like Justin Bieber, right? Let's say he puts out
Oh.
a Christmas album. Look, there's license for artists when we put Christmas albums out. For some reason, I don't know why this is, we're allowed to be cheesy. Everyone's up for the cheesiness.
Mhm.
Just for, like a month or 2 months out of the year, for some reason, it's fine, right? I would say you got to go into this watching this movie with the same mindset.
Almost
I
like
will
putting
say-
on a pair of glasses
Right.
that would make you see color.
Or take the glasses of skepticism and
Oh,
cynicism
yeah.
off.
There you go.
You know what I mean? And watch it with fresh eyes.
Eyes.
So, with that mindset, I liked it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Man, that was
There you
beautifully
go.
said.
That was.
Dave
Beautifully
Barnes. Dave Barnes, what'd you think?
Yeah, so this is what I wrote down. Have to admit, it's clever how he's, quote, just seeing beauty for the first time, unquote. And, quote, you're going to fall in love with what you're about to see. It really works well for rom-com, right? As a double. And then, quote, I just became convinced that my life would never change. again about lenses. This is they really they nailed this line of thinking. Like they every double entendre for seeing and love, they fully developed.
Yeah.
I think, me being new to this viewing experience, I was really buckled up for like just terrible acting. It looks terrible. There's like people in the background who are extras who are just staring at the camera, and or at any point a actor stares into the camera accidentally, which I thought happened. True story.
It happens occasionally.
Okay. She was actually looking just right beyond it, but I was like, oh my gosh, she looked at the camera, but she didn't. But that said, I'm with John here. Like I thought the acting was actually pretty great, which was surprising. I mean, his friend, I guess, was like a grip that they ran out of money and just said, "Hey, come do this role." Other than him, it was like I was pretty impressed that everybody was like pretty believable. So I'm gonna have to go with John here. I liked it.
Wow.
Yeah. I will say this: it feels like I knew the girl from 30 Rock. She was 30 Rock. I didn't know the guy, but I was like, this guy feels like he's like this is him biding his time before he gets like some major role.
We've had him on the show. He's great. He's great.
He seems like he seems poised for the big time.
He's really funny too.
To me, he was like he's every guy on The Bachelor. When I've seen The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, it's that guy. All the guys are that guy. That's
all I could see was Chip Gaines. I'm not kidding.
Wow,
like, the whole time.
But really ripped Chip Gaines, though.
Yeah, much more jacked.
Ripped. Yeah.
If Chip got disciplined.
That's right. Yeah. Really took it seriously.
Yeah. Which we've all been waiting for. Let's be honest.
That's right. We have a side podcast, just like checking in on Chip.
Checking in on Chip.
To use that Huel like really getting moving.
Yeah. How many days till Chip gets ripped? 15. 14.
We'll check back tomorrow.
Back to 15.
Back to 15. He had some Cheetos. Back to 15. I think it's a clean sweep for liking. I'm if you've listened to this show before, you know that this movie is tailor-made for me. It's wacky. It makes no sense. It is just from the premise, from the get-go. It is the get-go. It is just ludicrous, and I loved every second of it. It's very funny, unintentionally. I think there are some lines that I can't believe made it to air, like just so seriously. At the end of this movie, he takes off his glasses before he kisses her and just goes, "Just what I expected." Just as beautiful without the glasses,
which he's been.
Keep in mind, he's been seeing her the whole time.
Just as I expected.
But not this way. Not this way.
No.
I can't believe it happened. He went to go do it, and I said, he's going to do it, isn't he? And he did it. I couldn't believe he did it.
It'd be great though in that last scene if he was just a little cross-eyed that time. Just that one time. And then she's like, I don't know if I can do this anymore.
I don't know. Put the glasses back on.
Put the glasses back on.
Glasses on.
It was absolutely ludicrous in all the best ways. I loved it. Dan?
Can I say just really quickly, the thing that was impressive, and I really mean this, I'm being 100% sincere, they somehow... they never got ludicrous. They towed the line, and every time I thought it was going to be like, here we go, they'd sort of jump back on the other side where I'm like, oh, it's kind of believable in a weird way again. I mean, it was ludicrous, but I was expecting like, when I read the synopsis, I was like, oh, this is like a peyote fever dream that some like film student did on a bender.
Yes.
And then turned in and it worked. You know what I mean? Like that's what I was, and watching, I was like, I kind of believing this sort of. And then it'd be like, he'd do that line. I'm like, I'm out. And then it'd be like another scene. I'm actually, I may be in again. It was really interesting to see how well they sort of towed that line without fully committing to the absurdity of it.
They played it so straight that I didn't.
They did.
Know
they
how
did.
to take
they
it.
did.
You didn't know how to take it.
Right. I wrote down. This is not how optometry works. This is not how color blindness works. This is not how clinical trials work. This is not how movies work.
So what'd you think?
This movie is the best kind of disaster. And I want to be very clear because we have a lot of fun here, but we don't joke about people with disabilities. Colorblindness is not a disability. Colorblindness is not being able to see the right color all the time. Like 1 in 10 men have colorblindness. There is a like legit disability of light sensitivity where you don't see any color, but those people are classified as blind. They like conjoin these two ideas to create a guy who's a 10 of 10 PhD elementary school science teacher who believes he's the elephant man if anyone finds out he's colorblind. He's like, don't look at me. I'm hideous. I am colorblind. Anytime he's 40 years old, anytime somebody puts him on the spot with a pop quiz, hot shot, what color's my shirt? He looks like he's about to have an unavoidable bout of diarrhea. The guy is like, if anyone finds out my secret, they'll put me in a home. Dude, you are not having any real problems in life. I laughed more than I've ever laughed in a Hallmark movie. It's as bad as I've ever seen, but it could be the best. I don't know. I don't know. I was on an airplane, just tears streaming down my face at some of the lines in this movie, which we will get to. It makes no sense at all. None. And Christopher Russell, they play it like it's an Oscar bait movie. Like they play it like they play it so seriously, like both are up for awards. And they commit to the bit. The bit just happens to be sheer insanity. I still am not sure what I just watched, but I kind of weirdly enough would like to watch it again.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Watch it again from a Dan. I
Yeah.
like it.
Yep.
Let's talk about feels. What gave us all of those holiday feels, those holly jolly feels? Brian, what gave you feels in this movie?
So there was a good amount of Christmas to be seen in this movie.
Sure.
Yeah.
But it didn't,
Especially with glasses
yeah,
on.
it didn't really do anything for me because it's stuff I've all seen before.
The puns here are just, they're streaming out.
This movie deserves
It's easy.
it.
It's easy.
Did you have any actual feels or just?
Your cardigan was in this movie.
my cardigan was in this
your
movie?
Cardi-
It
your
was.
Cardi B.
You didn't see it? He was
No, I didn't
rocking
see
it.
it.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Oh,
That was a good
fantastic.
feel.
It's
I
great
like
cardigan. John, any feels for you?
Okay, so it's funny you say cardigan because I made a note here that that's the best cardigan movie I've ever seen in my life.
You should
And
watch
I-
more Hallmark.
Yeah, you should
movies.
watch a few more.
I'm in on the
Yeah.
whole thing. I'm moving to South Carolina.
Perfect.
Every couple years I will buy a thick cardigan sweater,
Yeah.
and they don't look right on me.
Oh, I don't believe that for a
They
second.
just don't.
No.
They just don't. But anyway, when it comes to the feels, look, Brandon, I'm like you. I love Christmas. I have to like force myself to not start listening to Christmas music as soon as we get back from trick or treating. You know, I have to,
Give
like,
into it, John. Give into it.
So I'm in. So like any of the scenes, I just wrote down here like any scenes showing all the Christmas decorations, I love. There's something so aesthetically pleasing about the whole thing, right? Where the kids are, singing the Christmas carols, all that kind of stuff. When they go to the church, it's like the perfect, cute little church on the corner with the, everything is absurdly, impossibly perfect. And I'm in for the whole thing. The flower shop with all that,
Yeah.
the hallway at the school where he started crying. It looked so great, especially when he put those glasses on. I couldn't help but, and I'm dipping into the next segment here, but I couldn't help but think like, that looks great. Love that hallway because I love Christmas. There's no way on God's green earth that this is a functioning school with all of the. There's a Christmas tree every 2 feet. That wouldn't.
But not in his classroom.
Navigating.
That's a fire hazard.
Yeah.
Yeah, his classroom became more and more of a fire hazard as the movie
That's right.
went on.
More than fair.
And also just emotionally a fire hazard. And that's something we'll talk about
Yeah.
later.
No, now you're doing it. Now you're diving deep.
Matt, any feels for you? Dave.
Did you call him Matt?
Yep.
Guys, it's been fun.
Matt
the
Barnes
rest of
plays
the episode-
basketball. It's a different
Yeah.
Barnes.
That's right.
I
Matt
get-
Barnes.
And boy,
Just a
the
dig.
times that we get confused, it
Oh,
is
it's sick.
just
Yeah.
off the charts. I did have a couple moments when he admits he's. I'm not going to laugh when I say this. When he admits he's colorblind and talks about his family being poor, I was kind of like,
do it.
yeah, I'm with you. I feel that. That did give me a little bit of feels. Him putting on the glasses, that got me. Everything. Although it did, their version of what he saw, I think he was tripping. I really
Yes.
thought like
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is a little too much. Like
Yes.
he might have done a little tab before, and now he's like, it was a little exaggerated. And then when the daughter said her Christmas wish at the very end was that her mom would find someone who treated her as good as her dad did. It got me a little bit. Got me right in the feels.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I when he put on the glasses in the hallway. I know.
Chris Russell's giving a performance.
He's giving a performance. I'm not proud of this.
Yeah.
No.
I did tear up.
No. Stop it.
I'm not proud of it.
Man.
But I need to.
Oh no, Dave's with you.
Dave?
I felt that. I had a little. Is this happening to me? Moment.
Yeah. What is happening?
Like it's preposterous, but
yeah.
that guy, he definitely snuck a gummy in there or something. But it was fantastic. It was fantastic, and I teared up a little bit, and I'm not proud of that.
I taught high school for 16 years, and I watched a fourth grade teacher teach 9-year-olds how to form a single file line. And it gave me some hope that maybe some high schoolers won't know it either by the time they get there in the future, because for 9-year-olds to have never heard of a single file line was a special moment in this film. One that I like, maybe they're from Europe and they don't believe in lines. I don't know what the explanation was, but I was thrilled to see Chris Russell stretch his acting chops as he teaches 9-year-olds a single file line. That did my heart some good. That's all I got.
100%. Let's take one more quick break. We'll come back with the Wait What and the What the Hallmark here on Deck the Hallmark Dadville crossover extravaganza Christmas time. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah,
that was great. That was a great break.
Yeah.
Let's do the Wait What's. Let's talk about what in this movie made us go Wait What. Brian, what you got? Any Wait What's?
I found a few.
Okay.
A couple. There's a few holes in here, huh?
I'm gonna write through a few.
Okay.
If you don't
real
mind.
quick. Yeah.
So I feel like the parents would have figured out he can't tell the difference between colors, like pretty early on. Bailey started her project the night before it was due. Are you kidding me?
And the printouts, that printout situation, her poster boards.
Yeah.
They've got an industrial professional printer in their living room where that was a late night.
Yeah. One of those late nights.
Ryan, when you did school projects, you started
before the day before?
Guys.
Oh, no, I don't want to hear it.
I mean, yes, I'll stop there. Yes.
To my stomach.
Yes. And she obviously knew he was colorblind somehow, but she just wouldn't say it. Like, she wouldn't.
I've got a sneaking suspicion, but this is one of these things you don't want to guess.
Feel
it's like asking a woman if she's pregnant.
I feel like if you're an optometrist and you know someone's colorblind, you have a responsibilty to tell them you know they're colorblind.
Yeah, it's just called being a doctor. Yeah.
You need they need a clinical trial for this, for these glasses, and you can just anonymously sign people up for a clinical trial.
Yeah, doctors can just sign people up willy-nilly. They don't need your info. They don't need your social.
Dude.
They can just doctors just reign supreme.
It's a different type.
It's pure anarchy.
Yeah. They got to throw some regulation around that.
Yeah.
And then this was really funny. He left the tree in the classroom, right? The little tree.
Yeah, the little one.
And he took it down and put it away. And then later that afternoon, I assume, he ran into the girl's mom at the store, and she's like, "Why'd you put away the tree?" How did she know he put away that tree?
Well, obviously she's watching him.
Yeah,
she must be. She's
got eyes on.
Yeah.
As she should, I guess. I mean, that's the only responsible thing. Eyes on. That was good.
There he is.
You can't smell flowers if you're colorblind? I didn't find.
We Googled this. We Googled this.
Yeah. It turns out that colors do help you smell better.
Yeah.
There's like some wine tasting is big on that, but being able to see
which is a scam, but
in grayscale and then being able to see colors, I'm not sure that makes you now be able to smell flowers, which you couldn't smell at all.
He never smelled anything before?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he could smell the color 9.
Yeah.
But 9's not a color.
Thank you.
9's not a color. And even if it was, you can't smell a color. That's my point. Exactly. Look, here's the thing. He says a line in this movie about this that is just maybe my favorite line of all time. And I'm trying to find it in my notes, where basically he said he's never been able to smell flowers at all. Like not even a whiff of flowers. And then he puts the glasses on and it's all coming to life for him.
It unlocks something.
And he says this, maybe something's firing now that wasn't firing before.
That's right.
What are you talking about, bro?
I think we do. I think we know what he's talking about.
Yeah, I think we all do.
Oh my goodness. Maybe something's firing now. It wasn't
Well,
firing.
I love too that he PhD, right? And that's his
Yeah.
explanation.
That's right. Yeah,
And that
yeah,
she's
yeah.
like, totally.
Yeah.
Two doctors agreed on the line.
That's
I
right.
think something is firing.
That's right. That's
What-
right. That's right. We've had a meeting of the minds, and we decided that
We are
that
two of the
is-
smartest people in this
That's right.
town, and
That's
we are
right.
consensual on this thought.
Brian, any
Yeah,
more?
last one. Dan, you coach basketball. How many Christmas trees do you have on the court? at
Oh,
any given
so
time?
many. Look, when I coach, we're varsity team. We got, we're number 9 in the state right now, Brian,
That's
at any
doing great.
level. And if we don't have a tree in every corner, at least,
Yeah, at least.
like especially early on in warm-up drills,
Yeah.
do a lot of
Yeah.
dribbling around them.
I was gonna
You don't
say
know
that.
where the out of
Post 'em
bounds
up.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, no. This is an important part of it. I mean, half the practice is decorating. I mean, we're baking 5 dozen cookies. That's like a minimum. So,
How
so
can
yeah,
you dribble a basketball if you
this-
can't hang an ornament, guys?
That's right. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
It's hand eye. It's hand eye.
You got to
It's all
walk
hand eye.
before you run.
this full-time elementary school girls basketball coach is doing it right.
Oh my god!
Line you just can't say without laughing.
Look, you don't know the economy of the town, so let's
That's
not
right.
be
We don't
judgmental.
know.
Okay,
We don't
the
know.
taxes they pay higher taxes for great elementary education there.
That's
okay?
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
John, what you got? Any wait what's?
Oh, guys, I have so many. I have
Yeah.
so many. Now, first off, one that is not, this is not unique to this Hallmark movie by any stretch, but I love how, the guy who has a PhD and is teaching 4th grade science lives in the house that he lives in.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
everything is on
Please.
point
Yeah.
with that.
Dude, it is every one of these movies. It's
Every
like I'm an assistant in Manhattan, and I've got like a brownstone. It's
Yeah.
like a
It's sort of-
1,500 square
It
foot.
sort of
brownstone.
reads like something Hitler was trying to achieve with the entertainment for the Nazis. You know what I'm saying? It's sort of like everybody's white and rich and
Yeah.
cares a lot about like the-
Striking blue eyes.
Yeah,
That's right.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The basketball coach for the elementary school is full time. Yeah.
That's
It looks
right.
like it looks like she's a yoga instructor.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
She's
Um,
full-time basketball.
That's
like,
right.
like she
Full-time.
doesn't do anything else.
Which
I mean-
look, I'll skip ahead to this one. One of my things was like when she was like, "You've got them playing like all stars." No, no, they weren't.
They're
No.
like
Were we-
falling over.
No.
Were you watching them? They had never touched basketballs before.
No.
Their form was terrible, and he
Yeah.
played in college. Anyway,
He couldn't even
Um,
tinsel and
I
dribble.
mean,
at the
you know
same
he
time.
played in college because of the sleeveless hoodie. He was
Oh,
wearing.
my
That's
Yeah.
how you knew.
gosh.
Yeah.
Like
That's
that's
right.
what we all wore when we balled in college.
That's right.
Like I know for me. For
I
sure.
can't believe we didn't all give that as our feels because
Yeah.
No, he's ripped. Dude's
Those,
ripped. There's no doubt
yeah.
about it.
yeah. So I did notice that Dr. Stevens insisted on being called Dr. Stevens
Yes.
well past the point where Dr. Tanner
Yeah.
insisted on being called Ryan.
That's
And
right.
it wasn't until Ryan finally came in to her office that she was like, "Oh, you can call me Michelle now."
That's right. That's right. That's right. Switch
now that
that
you've
up.
come to see me at my job,
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Professional environment.
I thought the daughter's presentation was way too short. I thought it was a B minus at
3
best.
slides.
Yeah.
At best.
It's B
Um,
minus. It's B minus presentation. No doubt.
absolutely.
it was
about
night before preparation.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
showed.
Yeah. Let's see. Dr. Stevens, when she got super upset instantly at her daughter for bringing the glasses in without her knowledge, when obviously she's just seeing her mom repeatedly not listening to the signs from
Hey.
Ryan to back off.
It's not taught, it's caught, folks. Okay.
That's right. She learned it from watching her mom,
Yeah.
I will say I was surprised that the color reveal happened so early in the movie. I tapped on my screen and saw where we were, and I was like, "Oh, we still have half a movie to go here." And he just saw that. I thought this would be the closing
No,
scene.
we felt every minute of it too.
Yeah. Ryan said he couldn't wrap presents, and then did we all see the present that he wrapped?
Oh,
It looked amazing.
amazing. Picture perfect.
It's the glasses.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, one of my favorite things was when Michelle, Dr. What was her name? Dr. Stevens told her daughter it was strictly professional that she's getting together with Ryan. She's helping acclimate him to his new life now.
That's right. That's right.
Purely
right.
business.
Yeah.
It's almost
and
funnier
then
hearing it
she
back.
goes a step further and says, I could never date him. And I assumed the next line out of her mouth was because he's a patient, but it wasn't. It's because he's your
colorblind.
teacher.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Right.
Yeah.
Like I can date patients. That's above
Yeah.
board, apparently.
Right.
But,
Right.
you know, if you teach my daughter, absolutely not.
Uh-uh.
You are
Off. That's too far.
ruffian.
I want to talk about Mark for a second, the ex-boyfriend.
Yeah,
I
can
felt
we?
like I have never seen so much sun in someone's hair. His hair was
Oh.
100% sun in.
There are
Yeah.
bodies in his basement 1,000%.
Yes.
And I'm including
100%.
pets and
But-
people.
Yeah.
This is maybe my number one thing. There are two strikes against Dr. Stevens here. She's she cares about her patients deeply. What was Mark doing on that video conference call with
Dude,
the school?
Yes.
That is number one.
Yes.
They
It's
must have
number one
just
on the
started
list.
dating. What's he doing on that conference call?
Absolutely.
Yeah, there is just no world where a
We all-
boyfriend jumps on a video conference call for
And
a
if-
kid.
If we're following the timeline, they must have just started dating.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
strike one. Strike two is, do you want to spend Christmas morning with us?
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Come on,
that's
guys.
a tough one. Yeah,
that's
pretty early.
that's a volatile home situation that her
Well,
daughter
one
is
thing
living
we
in.
learned by the end of the movie is that Michelle lets her heart go too fast.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
It's what
True.
makes her relatable,
Yeah.
guys. Sure,
right.
she's beautiful. Sure, she's rich. But she does have an Achilles heel of just loving too much.
That's
She
right.
loves too hard, and she
Loves too hard.
hardly ever goes into the office.
And crossing every boundary imaginable in the
Everyone.
doctor-patient relationship.
How many other patients was she helping acclimate to their new
Oh,
life?
listen,
That's the only
I
thing
am. I would bet my house that Mark was also a former patient.
Oh,
I
listen.
would bet my house. on
Listen,
that.
and let's don't lose the fact that she's mad at Mark for invading her space yet.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah,
Does
yeah,
she
yeah.
do herself.
You get what you give, man. You
Yep.
get what
spot
you
it,
give.
you got it. Okay.
That's
And
right.
And to get him to go away, she invites him to her daughter's
That's right.
Christmas.
That's right.
Pageant.
This will teach
Yeah,
him.
that'll do it.
I don't know. Have you been to some of those kids' Christmas things? Like that might work. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Also, I did like, I have to say, as we're on that subject, I like that she needed him to hold her hand while she walked through the aisle, just for that moment.
Yes.
I could fall over at any time. Okay, at any moment for these 3 feet, it is game over.
These folding chairs are.
I have a
dastardly.
reputation in the small town, and if they see me stumble,
Yeah.
the practice is over.
They might think I don't have good eyesight. I
My
can't
chance
have
for
that.
public office.
We're gonna
is-
start talking.
So great.
I want that. John, any more?
My very last thing is I loved when someone shouted out to the mayor, "We love you, mayor."
Yes.
Classic.
Just
Again,
mayor. Just
Nazis wrote
generic mayor. Yeah.
Yep.
Generic mayor.
That's right.
Dave Matthews, what you got?
this. Okay, let's.
Bow, bow, bow,
I'm
bow.
gonna fly through these. Get ready.
Let's do
The
it.
whole premise is that being colorblind is a scarlet letter.
That's
That's
right.
my favorite thing. I'm like, and y'all can answer this. Is Hallmark
Ironically.
a world into itself? Like, is it a fake land that everybody lives in from these movies?
No,
I
think
they're
you could
make
starting
that
to have a
theory.
little bit of
You
crossover,
could make that theory.
but not
Yeah.
not what it like.
Because it
that's
could
not
be
the
that.
norm.
It could be that we aren't read in on the fact that in these sort of like in this fantasy land that they live in, you're colorblind. And it's like you are pariah. Like
That's
get
the
out of the
nicest
city.
take. That's the nicest possible take.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it just feels like the minute that they do the reveal of he's colorblind, I was like, wait, did he kill a kid? Like,
That's
was
right.
he-
That's right. Yeah,
What
yeah,
is-
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then I have in all caps, and he's tried everything, Michelle. He's tired of getting let down. He's fine with his life being in black and white. Okay, for the love of Peter, just leave me alone to my colorblindness. Okay, I'm fine in this pit of despair.
But
that is my
also,
life.
he's tried everything except a doctor.
That's right. That's right.
I've tried every home remedy,
Yeah.
homeopathic, like I just can't. I can't do it. I can't.
There's
Scratch.
a lot going
cardigan.
on here.
I've tried
There's-
them all.
Yeah. Every cardigan. I did notice that all of his cardigans were great. It actually stays on brand, which I
Yeah,
respected.
that's
I was
great,
like, okay.
He's
Okay. I love.
method. Yep.
Yeah, he is. He is. I love the first time that she saw him. She kind of looked like she'd never seen him before, and I was like, "Well, he's your daughter's teacher." So
That's right.
remember, he walks in the first time. She's kind of does
Oh,
that,
yeah.
like, "Ooh, I'm interested."
Oh,
you know?
howdy.
Also, how did he get that pad? That was a question of mine. I love how her wait, let me see. The colorblind is a power struggle for her. Like, why is it such a big deal? Why does she so badly need to engage in this weakness in this man? Is really interesting that we never really got to walk out. Like, I needed her to be like, you don't understand. My dad was colorblind, and that's why he got hit by the bus because he didn't see the yellow bus coming. And then it's like, oh, we have our motivation. But I was just like, what is the deal here, sister? Star basketball player, top of his class. He's private though. He's brooding.
That's
Why?
right.
Who hurt him? That's what I needed to know. I didn't feel like colorblind took me all the way to like that had done such damage in his life that was why he hated, Christmas. And I needed more of a backstory there. I did like that, like 7 hours later, he's got Christmas decorations everywhere. I was like, man, that is a fast dude.
Once that spirit hits, man, it's just hard.
Good, great. It might have been from what he was tripping on because that might have given him that extra energy. He might not have slept.
He worked all night.
That's right.
And my final one is that was the most abrupt ending to a movie I have ever seen in my life. I mean, it faded out, and then and I was like, wait, what? Like that? I really did feel like they're like, guys, we are over budget. $1,000. So this has got to
shut it down.
Yeah. There's no craft services today. Just go down to the QT.
I mean, it pulled out into the credit roll, and I was like, "Wait, I'm sorry. That's the ending of this."
That's the end. We just did it, everybody. Nice work.
All those colors,
I got a couple. She plugs in the Christmas tree as a part of her class project. It's, I don't know, a foot tall. These kids go freaking nuts over this tree.
It's been a long year.
Have they never seen a Christmas tree either? Are all of these kids colorblind too? Why are they so shocked by this 1 foot Christmas tree?
Yeah. Also, did you notice at that moment, I noticed too that she asks if she could plug it in, which felt really weird. Can I plug the tree in? And he's like, yes. It's like, oh, okay.
I got a kick out of the fact that she said to hold her calls while she filled out an application. I don't know. I just thought it was funny.
Hold all my calls.
Speaking of calls, I can't believe that his personal cell phone number is on the school website. That doesn't seem like it should be allowed.
Doesn't ring true.
Something made me irrationally angry in this movie. And the thing is, he sees a hallway full of Christmas trees. Wonder. But
you're gonna make me tear up again.
Amazing. I know. She says, I gotta show you stuff. I gotta show you some things. So the first place she goes is to a church.
That's right.
And I'm like, this is gonna be freaking amazing. This is gonna be awesome. And what is the thing that she shows him in this old church? Another Christmas tree. She doesn't say look up. She doesn't say, look at the stained glass window to your right.
I thought it would be the stained glass for sure.
I was so mad. He just saw a hallway full of Christmas trees. You take him somewhere else and says, look at another Christmas tree. Don't look to your right. Don't look to your left. Don't look up at the good Lord looking below at you. No, look at another Christmas tree. And then wrap some pretzels while you're at it. I was so mad. I don't know if hating Christmas and being colorblind is an excuse for never hearing about mistletoe.
Yeah.
I don't think it is.
No, it's not.
I was shocked.
It gives us a little bit of a peer into his dating life, though.
It does.
It does. A little bit.
Mistletoe.
Yeah.
What? The last thing is he's clearly on a high. He's clearly just so pumped. He's decorated his classroom, and he walks by the little Christmas tree to go sit down, and he boops it.
Yeah, he did.
He just goes, boop. Yes. Which I just thought was fantastic and very weird, and I loved it. Dan?
So back to the Christmas tree scene. This scene is a modern marvel of idiocy. He has a pair of glasses that makes him see color. He cries. She says, buckle up. Buckle up. Your mind's about to be blown. And what she does, in effect, is take him to volunteer at a toy drive. Yeah. Okay. She doesn't take him to go. She takes him to volunteer at a toy drive. Oh, you can see now. Wait till you serve others, mofo. It's coming. It's coming now. And then my favorite part of that is not that she takes him to volunteer. It's that she makes him close his eyes.
Dude,
guys, I don't know if you know this, but without the glasses on, he can't see color.
I had that written.
You don't have to treat him like he's 5. Just take the glasses, walk him in like a human being, and then tell him to put him on his face.
I got to be honest, didn't even occur to me.
That is just unbelievable.
I just assumed he was such a Grinch that he was just a non-Christian. And
Yeah,
she was
yeah.
like, "You wouldn't go in the church if
Sure.
you knew it was a church."
You would. That's right. That's right. Close your eyes. Surprise! You're here to volunteer, and there's
Also-
a Christmas tree.
Also, can I tell you about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ?
That's right. Here's the Evangicube. If you could unfurl that as I speak. It was bold. That's a bold move there. The fourth graders in his class range the age gamut of Gen Z. There is a kid in that room
Yeah.
who drove himself to fourth grade. There is no way around it. My man has a license.
He also dated the doctor too.
Yeah.
He's an
that's
old
right.
patient.
He voted for Obama. Like he has been in fourth grade.
Can you imagine being
for
an
a long
extra? That
time.
kid shows up to be an extra. He's like,
You're
man, I'm
like-
gonna get to do some cool stuff. He's like, could you pass as a fourth grader? He's like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
You think my mom's a director? They're like, "Oh, you do pass as a fourth grader."
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. You don't need consent for an application, said the doctor. I got news for you. You're fired. This guy is a PhD, which means he went to school for science, not in high school, not in college, not at the master's level, but at the doctorate level. But he doesn't know that the Caribbean Ocean is blue, or that Santa's suit is red,
Yep.
or that a Christmas tree is green.
Mhm.
No.
He's been so focused on
Yeah.
science.
That's right.
The part of science is knowing what color some basic things are.
Don't
in
talk to
life.
him about color.
One of my what the hallmarks
Don't-
was
don't
of
do
all of the subjects to have him teach.
Science is
Science
a bold move.
seems to be the most
That's
like
a
color
bold move.
focused.
Yeah.
When they
subject,
pitched
right?
it, they were like art, and they're like, "It just feels too far. That's a little too far."
Yeah, you can't do art.
And
Can't do art.
lastly, in a sea of others that I feel like we've covered really, really well, this full-time girls' elementary school basketball coach shows up to kiss him on the cheek and doesn't stay for the Christmas
Oh
performance.
yeah.
And I am just like, could you be phoning your job in more?
Dude, game
Like
tape, man.
you have the easiest job in the universe, full-time elementary school girls basketball coach. You can't even stay for the performance. You're just there to try to get a quick kiss from old Chris Russell, and you're out of here.
I
It's a
think it is.
bold
She
move.
was too hurt. She was too hurt. She couldn't.
hurt.
She couldn't
Yeah.
show her
I
face.
can't stay right here
So
in my
much shame.
feelings. That's what it is.
A lot
For
of
sure.
shame. Last but not least, the what the hallmark is, where we talk about any questions that we still have, what we can't sleep, we're thinking so much about.
Yeah.
Brian?
So one of them, and I'm not sure if you'll get into this, the classification of his. Was this something that you were going to touch on?
Yes,
Okay.
for
so I'll
sure.
skip ahead of
But I'm
that.
sure somebody. I go fifth.
Oh,
So
that's true. Yeah, so
We'll see
somebody
if it
will
gets
mention
there.
that. But the biggest thing, you kind of mentioned it. He's a science teacher. I just refuse to believe he hasn't dedicated himself to science to figure out this colorblindness thing. And it seems to he just has no time for it. Everything except figuring out the thing that he's been living with. And so I don't accept that he's not trying to figure this out his whole life.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
fair.
yeah,
John?
yeah.
So my main thing is with I'm worried about Ryan going forward.
Yeah.
I think he quickly gets fired soon.
Yes.
Like early into second semester, I feel like his room is out of control. He's spending all his teacher's salary on Christmas decorations
And drugs.
and drugs, of
And
course,
between
just
that
to
and the rent,
enhance.
he's just not gonna.
The other thing is, I feel like this new life, it's like, well, we don't know Ryan. He's too unpredictable now. Like he has just gone into this new life, seeing color, Santa's, uniform, the waters of the Caribbean. Obviously, he's moving in immediately to Michelle's house, because if you have your first kiss on, Christmas Eve, and then he's spending Christmas morning with you, I mean, New Year's Eve, his stuff is in.
Yeah.
Has to be.
For
That's
sure.
my guess on where this is going.
Well,
That's a
I feel
good
like
arc.
in a Hallmark world, they get married that night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is
true,
a good arc.
true.
Yeah, a week, and then they
True.
move it. Yeah. They're not going to
Well,
get
that
married.
day, like what they edited out because of money was that he pulls a ring out, and then that night,
yeah, because there's a little bit of an insinuation that he spends the night there because he's wearing the same clothes from
Oh.
the night before, which Hallmark would never. And in this movie, they do. And so I don't know if
So
that
you
was
think
just,
he went to go drop her off at her
and
house?
just stayed the night, which would be
Wow.
massively scandalous in the Hallmark.
Wow.
Scandal.
Yeah.
I
big
wish
time.
I don't want to now. I'm gonna have to go back on everything I've said now that I know that. I do not
Yeah. We
recommend
can't
this movie.
stand. Yeah. No,
It's
no,
not
no.
my hallmark. Dave?
Really, I mean, I'm with John on this. I just think I'm the same. I'm concerned about there's too much life he's never lived.
Yeah.
He hasn't seen the ocean. Hasn't really seen the ocean.
No, not
He
really.
hasn't probably seen the mountains. They were just gray clouds until he realizes these are land masses that I want to scale. And I don't need a partner to do this. And that's what gets me nervous is that he's going to come in with different clothes a couple weeks later. He's suddenly into, like yoga, which that's not who I married 2 nights ago. You know what I mean? Then he has
you think you know somebody.
Yeah. And all of a sudden he's way into Dave Matthews and starts following them around the States. It's just things we don't know. We don't know these things. I also think the other thing I would say about him, it really does feel like he might be in witness protection.
Yeah.
If you there's just a lot about him I don't trust. He's really mean. There's things we don't know anything about his past except that his parents are poor and they didn't know that he had.
And they were too dumb to notice he didn't know what color things were.
And he was a basketball player in college, but also has a PhD and has a nice house. There's a lot of things that are not stacking up. And
teaches for the love of it.
For the love of it.
Who does that?
Because they can't find me here. You know what I mean? I think it's that, or I was genuinely like so poised for this backstory. It's that, or he's a millionaire or a multi-billionaire.
Yeah.
Like he invented something.
What threw me off, because I'm with you 100%, Dave, is at one point he said he had taken the colorblind test once.
And it's classified.
Yeah. And it's like, this is going to come up.
I can't believe it.
I forgot about that.
Where did that come
from? It never came back up.
I swear the last 20 minutes he was going to be like, I was going to be a Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
And then my life was ruined.
Yeah.
And he just never do it.
On
because
Christmas
I shot
Day.
the wrong guy with the green
right.
sweater
instead
of the blue sweater.
I thought Santa wore a green suit.
All right, we'll let you in the SEALs first.
You got to shoot the right Santa.
gun.
But so help me God, if you shoot the wrong guy, you are out as quick as you got in.
Decorate this gingerbread house.
Oh man,
it's classified. So mine was the classified thing, but also I found it interesting that a guy who has been seeing in black and white his whole life, when given the chance to see color, still chose white lights on his Christmas.
That's
tree.
right. This bold move.
I just want to know, did he make that decision? Because he called in reinforcements. Hey, I need help. Was the decision to decorate his tree with white lights his? Like, what was he like? The colors too much. Like it's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Well, he's buying these decorations on Christmas Eve, so they're all out of the color. They only have the white left.
Surely he prefers color lights,
you
right?
Would have to.
I mean,
after
all these years, he's like,
little pop.
I don't know. The color just seems tacky. I don't. Dan?
I want to know what kind of school this is, where you have the same science teacher before summer, and then for the first semester of after summer, and then in 4th grade you switch science teachers in the middle of the year. Most elementary schools you have the same teacher for like the core subjects, and you're in their classroom all day, and then you do like related arts. But in this crazy nut school, it just seems like a real hodgepodge beluga. Like you just spin the wheel and you're like, oh, Mr. Russell again. And then you don't get him after the semester. That's a weird bit for 4th graders. I don't know if you know this, kids love consistency and they thrive with routine. So changing their teachers at the semester break seems like the worst idea I've ever heard.
Might be why they don't know how to walk on a line
That's
yet.
right. Yeah. It's a new school. It's a new thing that they're trying.
School.
Yeah.
We did it, everybody. Most colorful time of the year. Fantastic. Dave, John, tell everybody how they can find you, listen to your show and all that good stuff.
You can follow us on anywhere you get your podcasts by just typing in Dadville podcast.
I love it.
It'll take you straight to us. You just hit follow, and I'll put my Venmo in the show notes.
Great.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's an expensive time of year.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
and a colorful one.
It's colorful.
So
colorful.
Yeah.
Guys,
Sure.
thank you for joining us.
You guys
this was a blast.
So
I
fun.
loved
really
it.
was.
I'm gonna go watch the movie again.
Absolutely, you are. Until next time, maybe the first to wish you a Merry Christmas.